welcome to Truth Tuesday. I am your hostess. Well, I've got a co-host on this show. My wonderful friend Satoshi Sean's joining us, so we'll be right back with him right after this. Give us a like and share the video. Make sure you check out both of our channels. Satoshi Sean, there's a link in the description below of mine to hop over to his channel, give him a like, share the video, and leave a comment. He likes to give away stuff. So be right back. Hey, Sean.
Hey, Lisa, how you doing?
Good. It's a busy day over here. You know, it's Senior Sunday or Senior Tuesday at Savers and Taco Tuesday at El Zabarapi. So it's like a big day for us here.
Okay.
Everybody's napping off their beer and tacos this afternoon.
Good morning, Lad Lewis. I'm making like little Mexican pizzas for family night tomorrow.
Oh, perfect. Yeah. Well, you know, we have that Latin flavor now in America, apparently. After the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Oh, God. What were your thoughts?
You know, I watched this one guy, and he was like talking about it, and this dude said, "I don't really care about it because I didn't understand any of it." You know, and I was like, "Yeah, that's how I felt." I felt like a child who didn't know how to talk. It's like, oh, it's the colors are nice. You know what I mean? It was. One guy was funny. He was talking about how it was like a Scorsese film, how he kept walking through everything like in Goodfellas, you know, when the guy's walking through. So it was like visually it was cool, but I didn't understand, you know, one word of it.
Go outside. Sorry, my mom's dog. If you hear, it wasn't a pig. If you hear snorting, it's my mother's dog. Yeah, I have to agree with you. I thought it was funny. Mom said, well, I mean, if that's dancing, that was just a bunch of butt shaking. Yeah, she said, I can do that.
I thought him climbing up on stuff, and I thought it was, you know, but it was, I didn't understand it. So,
yeah,
you know, I don't know what he was saying.
Well, I heard that they translated it and there was a lot of foul language. And then, you know, he needs to go to the doctor very badly or something because he kept grabbing his junk. And I think you can get a shot for that or something. I don't know. And then there were two guys that were like gyrating their bodies together face to face, which was something we haven't seen really on.
Yeah, I saw that a couple of those. I saw Roger Goodell. Someone that was filming him when he was watching it on the Jumbotron, and he didn't look happy.
Who's he?
He's the commissioner of the NFL.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So I don't know. I was, you know, like I don't care because I couldn't understand.
You love football. How could you not care of what they've done to football? What the NFL's capitulated to, and that he was swarming it at the end with the gangster thing and saying like, "We're coming for you" or something like that. I don't know. It was very weird at the end. And they had the blackout comms in there. You know, they were talking about Puerto Rico, and they were showing like power lines, like with the old big transformer things, like up on the power line. And then they showed the like land. What are those guys called? Linemen. They were dressed like linemen climbing those, and then they exploded, and then like the linemen fell off the poles, like they got killed or electrocuted or something. Like it was all about Puerto Rico.
Yeah, because he's Puerto Rican.
Yeah, but it's the United States football game. Like I know Puerto Rico is a territory of, but it was very strange.
It's also not football. It's the halftime show. So, you know, Alex asked me, he's like, I wonder when this became a show, like a production.
That's a great question.
He said, because I remember it used to be like a concert. You know, they just have a dude and he would play like 3 songs or a medley of, you know, their hits or something like that. And I was like, I don't know when it was this, you know, like production, because it was a huge production, and like a show. So, but I just don't.
But when did football become just a show? Because it's now all contracts and, just like the fighting stuff with UFC or whatever, Mike Tyson stuff, like it's all
I don't know.
pre-rigged.
And I did see no.
Called an entertainment company.
I I
Edmonton
I,
was an
I
entertainment
saw
industry.
I saw one thing, and it was a sack, and the guy just touched his shirt and grabbed him, and he went right down. And I'm like, that looked really fake,
Yeah,
you know. And if you lose if you lose the the purity of sports, or sport as the Europeans call it, it's not worth watching. It's just wrestling, which I don't understand why adults watch wrestling.
I
I don't get it, because I
it's
watched it as a kid and I loved it. It was, but I thought it was real. And then my neighbor's like, "This is fake," I was like, "No, it's not." And he took me to a boxing match. He's like, "If you have, 180-pound, 200-pound man, if he hits somebody once, they're
right,
going to be knocked out."
right.
And I watched it, and it was like, "Oh, okay."
That's interesting. That's a
But
great way to learn.
so I can't. It's like fake. So I'm like, it's fake, which I can understand watching it. It's like a soap opera, whatever. But to be like as invested as you are in other sports, to be that like, to put any emotion into it at all, is I just don't get it anymore. And I didn't get it once I was like 13. I just didn't understand that.
But you still have teams that, like, you're a big Philadelphia Eagles fan.
Yeah.
So you love the history of the sport and you have a favorite team, but you feel like the sport itself has been exploited.
No, if the sport is fake at all, if there's any, if it's not like a pure, competition, then it's not worth it. Did you see? Have you heard of Penis Gate?
No.
So the Olympics, it's kind of
Oh,
crazy.
yeah, they're shooting themselves in the wiener with
Yeah,
hyaluronic acid or something.
hyaluronic acid or something. Because, but yeah, if you can make the aerodynamics of the suit, and like they used to just stuff, like a sock in there or something, but they
Wow.
got in trouble for it, like, the last time or time before. But if you can, for every 1 centimeter that you change the suit, you can get up to 12 feet on a ski jump. So that is insane. But that's why they're, people are doing that. It's kind of nuts. But there's actual uh, organization called the like anti-doping
Yes.
something, and they're
They're the
looking.
ones that got, what was the famous Lance was it Lance Armstrong? Who was this famous bike rider that got
Lance
in trouble?
Armstrong.
Okay, for doping. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's I don't know, but I thought that was kind of crazy. But there's like that is such a. I mean, the Olympics. It's any kind of sport. It's a because it's like the one of the most purest things there is. So if you take out and
But the
if you
middleman,
make it fake, then it's
yeah,
just not worth watching for me.
it's just like every other, almost everything that we see in our world now, there's so many middlemen and everything. It's not the sport anymore. It's not, even two guys boxing or whatever. There's contracts and agents and the entertainment part of it and all that. And so there's all these middlemen in it. Just like with our financial system, our political system,
Like
our healthcare system.
the Eagles was one of the last like great stories, because they never won a Super Bowl. They've come close. It's I mean, it's like technically really like America's team. You could say the Cowboys are, because they took that title, but it was the capital of America. They fought so hard, and finally when they won, it was like this huge thing, especially for anyone that was a fan, because like I've been wanting that, and I've been like persecuted my whole life, by
For
people
being an Eagles,
making fun of yeah, making fun of me and put me down. Um,
which
so
is
that
bizarre.
it was like a really big thing when they won. Um, so and then who was it? The guy from Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Him and Ryan Reynolds bought this soccer team. the Wrexham soccer team, and like I understand why he did it, and when he talks about it, because it's the same thing. Like this Wrexham soccer team, they've been like relegated down. They've never been able to get out of like this certain league, and it's because he got that fix when Philly won, and because he's a rich multimillionaire, he's able to buy that again with a Wrexham soccer team. Um, but if there's anything fake now, it's like it ruins. It's like one of the last pure things there is. So
Yeah. Well, I don't know. They've, yeah, attacking our children, our food. We can go down
I
that
did like
road.
that. I did like. I don't know if it was the Super Bowl, but they had $10 million for 30-second commercial. Oh my god! But the like
Coinbase's commercial.
eat food.org.
Yeah, the Mike Tyson one where he says eat
Yeah,
real food or something like that.
yeah, that one's like. I thought that was like a cool thing. That was, the tide has turned. Something. What is it? And he's getting a lot done because no one's talking about it.
Yeah, but you just said how much for a 30-second commercial?
Eight to
$10
ten.
million?
8 to 10. Yeah,
What did he throw the fight for? 10 or 20 million?
I don't know.
Um, they're rubbing it in your face. So then they bring the guy that, everybody thought he was going to be, the winner,
See,
America
that's a big thing. That's a big like
hard in
because he
fighting.
was he was like a hero.
He was a hero
He
to a
was a
lot of
hero
Americans.
yeah, to me, and just because also he had like he'd come a long way from being an angry man,
Hmm.
an angry young man, to being this like much wiser, guy. And he's not a normal human,
Right.
physically. So
Physically, became
and it's like you wanted him to. I really wanted him to win.
I thought
Um,
he was going to. I thought he was going to
yeah,
push back on the contract to save his pride and be, the hero for America kind of thing, and all that. And instead, nope, he just did what the contract said, and he told everybody, like, I did it for the money. He was straight out. So then for them to play that commercial during the Super Bowl, it's all the same thing. He's like, just read their contracts. This is fake too.
well, the real food I think is like it was a big thing for me. I was like, that wouldn't have been in the Super Bowl last year. That wouldn't have been in any time. That is the most anti. It's anti every other commercial. It's just eat real food. It's not. It's a big shift in just how things are. Also, where the hell did they get that much money?
Choose real stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, they're not giving it to big pharma and food, lobbyists and
Mm-hmm.
whatever. So I guess that's part of it. Um, what's the other thing I wanted to talk to you about? Where's the big deal? Oh, there's so many big deals today, I guess. But um, the big thing that everyone that I was talking to was excited about. Hold on, let me pull it up and make sure it's tall and that I can share it. And I've heard something about this before, but this is like coming out more in the mainstream now. This is on Fox News and talking about that employees, government employees owe over $50 million in unpaid taxes.
Americans had to write a big fat check to the government today to pay their taxes. Over 100,000 federal workers are not paying their taxes. In 2021, the IRS found that almost 150,000 federal workers owe about $1.5 billion in unpaid taxes. Over 5,000 of them work at the IRS and owe $50 million in overdue taxes. Even though the IRS can fire its workers that are not paying their taxes, only 20 people have been terminated. That double standard is something Senator Joni Ernst, Senate Doge Caucus chair, wants to stop. She's introducing several bills aimed at cleaning up the IRS. One bill would require IRS employees to be audited every year and fired if they don't pay their taxes. But while the IRS is not catching the tax cheats on their own payroll, they are busy arming their workforce. Ernst is also calling out 10 million taxpayer dollars the IRS has spent on guns and ammo, stockpiling 4,500 guns, 5 million rounds of ammo, even 15 machine guns. While most
Interesting.
What was the last thing she said
The gun stuff.
about the ammo?
I can get
You can
numbers.
fast forward it there.
Yeah, hold on. She's saying
IRS is not catching the tax
There they
cheats on their own payroll. They are
rounds of ammo. Okay, I thought she said
10 million on guns and ammo. It says 4,500 or 45,000 guns and 5 million rounds.
round. Okay, I thought she said like 500 brands. I mean, like,
Oh,
play it because I want to hear what you said. Play
okay.
it. Hit play.
Oh.
catching the tax cheats on their own payroll. They are busy arming their workforce. Ernst is also calling out 10 million taxpayer dollars the IRS has spent on guns and ammo, stockpiling 4,500 guns, 5 million rounds of ammo, even 15
She only said
machine
brands. Yeah,
It's round. It's just her accent.
Okay,
Rounds.
Still,
Yeah. But I feel like that story came out again. Here we are, Groundhog Day. That story came out once before about the IRS agents not paying taxes. I guess now they're disclosing how many are not paying taxes.
yeah.
How much, and it's not just tax IRS agents that owe the 5 million or whatever, but it's other government employees. So maybe they'll start auditing all government employees.
Would be nice.
It would be nice.
Rules for everybody.
Yeah. Well, and John McAfee, of course, had something to say about that. I don't know if you want to play that one. I sent that one to you as well.
Yeah, I saw it. It's
a
scam.
I'm sorry. Oh, it's a scam. Okay.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on Discord getting called out for changing their settings? So I guess it's like in Australia, this has already been happening in several other countries where they're getting kids off of social media. And I know like in Australia now you have to be 16. I'm not sure what other countries, but to be on social media. And so their Discord launched this where you're automatically teen by default unless you can prove yourself with either a face, showing your face, so doxing yourself. Well, either way, it's doxing, or an ID. This is for in the UK or the EU, applying huge pressure, saying it's really a censorship thing in the guise of protecting children. What are your thoughts?
I don't see a real big problem with that because I think it's kind of the way everything should be. It should be like open to everyone, and they're paying for it, they're running it. But if it's at a teen default, then you can use it anonymously. You just can't show nudity or anything that's would be considered adult. If you want to go to have rooms or go stuff with nudity and maybe cursing, anything that's adult, then you have to prove you're an adult. But to just if you have something that's open for anyone to use, I think default teen settings would be fine.
That makes sense. Like walking into a bar or whatever, or a restaurant, everyone can sit in the restaurant.
Yeah.
But you need to be 21
to go to the
bar or whatever. Yeah.
So it's just you're not, or and you can, if they want to charge, that's another thing. You have to prove you're an adult if you have a card, or at least a certain age. I think it's interesting though if you're limiting just social media in general to adults, you're really admitting that it is
an adult space
or bad for you. I mean, there's nothing good for you about alcohol. There's
I disagree with that. There are things that are adult things that aren't appropriate for children because their brains aren't fully developed to understand consequences and all that. So I don't think it's necessarily, I don't agree with that. I don't think it's all.
You have to admit that there's if you're limiting this for adults only, then you have to be able to choose that. So there has to be some negative connotation to someone to children coming out. So it's kind of admitting that the dopamine factor, that there's the control thing, that there's all of those other things. You can't say they don't exist. And oh yeah, you can't be on here if you're a kid.
Yeah, it's totally. I see what you're saying. There are things that would put people in danger. Not everyone makes good choices when they're. It's also like a public space. So if you think about like dropping off your child, even in downtown Oklahoma City, you know what I mean? I wouldn't drop off my child in downtown Oklahoma City. Now it's a public place. It's assumed that it's safe, but there could be people there that don't follow the law or make good choices.
But that's your choice as a parent.
Right.
The government isn't telling you, oh, you can't drop your kids down here on 7th Street and 5th Street because, that's the bad part of town. No, it's like everywhere is safe. This is America. This is, Oklahoma City. You can have free travel wherever you want to go here in the city. You can drop your kid off. You can live wherever, So to admit, if the government said, hey, you can't be in these areas if you're, under 18, they're admitting that those areas are not safe. Something's wrong.
So, because this is being driven by EU, UK guidance. Is that your point? Is that because the government is pushing it, that's the bad part.
I'm saying that they can't, but by them doing that, they're admitting that there's a reason for it.
Sorry, my dog is like over the computer staring at me. She's going to start crying here in a minute. There she goes. Come here. Come here. Sorry, this is Rebel. Rebel Rose. Say hi.
Hi, Rebel.
Look, there's Sean. Anyway, I wouldn't drop her off downtown either. She wouldn't make it. But, well, that's a good point. I think that's a fair point. You're fine. Like I said, everyone's like sacked out. So. Did you hear anything on the big crypto hearing today?
No. Okay. Everything's been, Epstein list, just the shockingness of what they actually put out, Massey and the other guy, they looked at the unredacted stuff, and he said, we looked at this for like 20 minutes and there's like 6 very prominent people we think should be arrested.
Wasn't it Massey that said that if they don't unredact all of it by Monday, that he would start naming names Monday?
I don't know. I know that he said that because there's 3, just think of 3 million. And people that say they went through it, I mean, you can't mathematically I couldn't, even if I didn't read it, I don't think I could put, take one piece of paper, put it here, take one piece of paper, I don't think I could do that.
Capable of scraping that?
For 3 million. Yeah, that's what the guy said. Because Massey went to MIT. He said Massey was able to search through it with his MIT know-how. That's how he found, because I'm sure he went in there and then did special searches for, Bill Gates or whoever it was. But he said, we looked for we were in there for 2 hours or whatever, and we got 6 big names that we think should be arrested. And they're starting to use the words, arrested, because the crimes they're not pulling punches, they're horrible stuff. It's not like they had sex with 16-year-olds.
No, there's emails about 10 and 11-year-olds,
rape
and horrible
and
things.
Torture and it's
harming people to the point of having to send them to a gynecologist to be restructured or something horrible.
The Down syndrome
oh my God,
the girl that they took her baby, got her pregnant, and then had her give the baby, had the baby, and they took it. I don't know, they ate it or what, but it was just terrible.
Yeah.
But it's so bad that you can watch the Young Turks, and Anna Kasparian was tearing up, and Cenk is you could tell he's getting choked up. the same. So it's both sides. It's both sides of the media are actually like, oh my God, we've finally come to something that we can't, uh,
Not share.
can't sell our souls for. This is too bad. You can't pay me $100,000 to say this isn't that bad. It's they're actually like, no, this is terrible. This something has to happen, and I think they are gonna. I mean, I think they're still gonna protect a lot of people, but I think they're gonna throw some. They're gonna throw some sacrificial lambs out there. Probably Bill Gates. Probably, and that's I was saying the other guy that went with Massey. He said this could end the monarchy. This is from what I've seen, this could actually be the end of it. So I think they're going to, Prince Andrew's going down. But I think that
not just losing all his private.
Yeah, I think he's going to, something bad's going to happen, but that'll keep Charles in power, and they're going to try and save the monarchy that way. But there's going to be some scapegoats.
Yeah.
But I don't even know, man. I don't know whether I'm like, okay, like I'd be happy with scapegoats just to finally see some justice somewhere.
Well, and Ghislaine testified, I think yesterday morning, or maybe it was this morning, and she just kept saying, I plead the fifth, I plead the fifth. And I'm like, is she an American citizen, though? Do you know if she's an American?
Even so, that when the weird thing is the fifth is so you don't incriminate yourself.
Yes, and
they were asking her questions that would not incriminate her. So
right. She said, you
can't do that.
They asked her 2 questions on everything. They'd ask her the question, and then when she said, I plead the fifth, stop. She said, he said, I want to be clear, you're pleading the fifth because it would incriminate you. And she said, I plead the fifth.
Mm-hmm.
So to me, yes. And then finally, after about 5 questions, they said, do you intend to plead the fifth on every question that's asked of you today, blah, blah, blah. Mm-hmm. And she said, I plead the fifth. And then her attorney spoke up and said, yes, she is. I'm her attorney. I speak for her. She's going to plead the fifth on everything.
But she shouldn't be allowed to plead the fifth if their question, like if they say, hey, do you like, lasagna? That has nothing to. She can't incriminate herself.
Oh, so great.
She has to answer the question. She's being asked by the district attorney or whoever. So that's what they said. They said that they asked her some questions that would not incriminate her, and they just let her plead the fifth, which I don't understand. They should have said, you have to answer that because it can't incriminate you.
That's a great point. How would that affect the outcome of that trial? Was that a trial or a hearing?
I think it was questioning.
Just questioning.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I thought that was weird. 1, that she did it, and 2, that they allowed it.
Yes, I'll be right back. I'm listening. Like I said, I'm alone.
Okay. Hey, everybody. Hey, Gazoo. Hey, Jim. What about the FBI agent that called ahead to warn Georgia about the raid and $40 disappeared? I don't know. There's a lot of stuff going on in Georgia that, but it's the same all over the country. When it comes to the election stuff.
On 2020 or?
Yeah, just as or the elections being not transparent or anything. This King Daddy was talking about the FBI agent that called ahead to warn the Georgia about the raid and 40 boxes disappeared.
Well, there was also somebody was asking, was it a congressman or somebody over it wasn't a congressman because it was somebody over the voting, like a judge in the area or something, and said, oh, do you have to burn down another barn? Because I guess they had been, come here. Oh, it's the other dog. Come here, Rington. She wants to go out. Charlie. This has been the dog episode today. I'm sorry. what were we talking about? Oh, somebody was asking him about, yeah, if he needed to burn down another barn because I guess that's where he was keeping the votes or something.
Mm.
And then magically the barn burns. So, kind of crazy.
What else is going on? I thought it was interesting about vice president going to Azerbaijan and Armenia.
Yeah, what's going on with that? Is that on behalf of like, is that for peace issues or making deals or
Making both. I think it's like for trade and peace, because those are both. Azerbaijan is especially, they're very close ties to Russia. So I think we're kind of, I think we're trying to set up a post Ukraine war world, you know, where everybody kind of is getting along and trading with each other. So it's not a new Cold War. We're all kind of together and working with each other. I was going to say building bridges, which is another funny thing. The Trump and the bridge in Canada.
oh, what about it?
The big bridge from Canada to Detroit or Michigan.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, the Canada built this bridge, over like since I think 15 to 18. It's been like 5, 6, 7 years. It's a massive bridge connecting Canada and the United States. It cost billions of dollars, and Trump said no, you can't open it.
Well,
And he said you guys have been ripping us off. You didn't use any American steel, but Obama signed off on all this stuff. Obama gave him all these there's certain agreements that they had that they would build things with American products, and I forget what the act's called, but he gave them like a pass on it, so they didn't have to do it. And this is like 7-year project, and they spent billions of dollars. So that was a huge,
it's
it was a
huge.
huge thing. But in all fairness, pretty much, all the different, Detroit and all the local politicians they want the bridge open because they want,
They won't trade for
they want
the
trade and
people
revenue
there.
and
Yeah.
well, yeah. So they're kind of miffed about it. But and then they're talking about, all the like different leaders of different countries are shocked at, how he's doing this. But it's kind of what he does, just kind of,
Mm-hmm. The bull in the china closet. This is also, we always kind of knew this was going to come out, I guess, but now it's on like regular normie news that Trump's actually, ABC News is forced to admit that President Trump's a hero in the Epstein files, that he actually called police about Epstein, I think 2006. Yeah.
let me see what the.
So that was kind of good.
In the mid-2000s, President Trump called police about Jeffrey Epstein. Among the 3 million Epstein files released by the Department of Justice last month is a 4-page FBI report on an interview the Bureau conducted in 2019 with the man believed to be former Palm Beach Police Chief Michael Ryder. Ryder and his detectives began investigating Epstein for human trafficking in 2004. According to the document, Trump called Ryder around that time and said, "Thank goodness you're stopping him. Everyone has known he's been doing this." Ryder also says Trump said he threw Epstein out of his club, and he was around Epstein once when teenagers were present, and Trump got the hell out of there. The former police chief says Trump told him to focus on Epstein's associate, Ghislaine Maxwell, saying she is evil.
Did you have any suspicions that he was...
So, that's interesting to say the least. And it's good that they're having to like come out with it on the normie channels, because I think that's the only way that the normies will believe it.
What I've seen is that Stephen Colbert said, and it's funny. I mean, you could tell that how slanted it is, But I said that Trump appears so many thousand times, and that it says that Jeffrey Epstein introduced Melania to Trump, but that they together, are mentioned over 38,000 times. That's all you see, about 38,000 times. Trump 38,000 times, but he gets to that point, and then it's just 38,000 times, 38,000 times, 38,000 times. But now I think his show's getting canceled.
Oh,
But it is it's just a mouthpiece. Someone, I forget who it was, but they said watching this, it seems like I'm watching like a movie from a dystopian, like it's it's like a joke. It's like, The Running Man or something. It's, this fake dystopian world, and they're talking about how,
well, one of my friends sent me Zeitgeist and said, "Have you seen this?" And I was like, "Oh yeah." And then she's like, this is what they're saying the agents are doing right now, or whatever. Do you remember that movie?
What?
Zeitgeist?
Mm-mm.
Oh man.
Did you see, so that you saw the election in Japan?
Yes.
Big deal,
That's
right?
a big deal. Yeah.
Did you see their police, how they what they do to illegals?
Mm-mm.
You go to X and type in sushi. I forget what it's called, like sushi roll.
What?
Police. Yeah. So they these cops that go up to it, if they find an illegal alien, especially this one video, it's on X, but they slam the guy down, and then they
Oh
get him
wow.
controlled, and then they roll him up like a sushi
Operation
roll.
Sushi Roll.
Russian sushi roll, yeah. And
Wait, wrong one.
they ship him off like right away.
Well, it's kind of
Yeah,
like
watch it. It's kind of
trial, right? So literally snatching illegal aliens off the street, Operation Sushi Roll, just after Japan's elected its first right-wing populist.
just like roll him up.
Wow, in a tarp. What in the world?
Yeah.
Oh, it's Alex Jones saying that. Okay.
Well, there's lots of
There's other people
every
talking
videos.
about here.
Look, they just roll them up and ship them on out. It's kind of.
Why don't they use handcuffs?
I guess because they could hurt each other. But Japan's a weird place. You're not innocent until proven guilty in Japan. You are guilty until proven innocent.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. If you get arrested, you're staying in jail till you go to court and you prove your innocence. Yeah, Japan's an odd place. It's very, very fascist, but they're all so polite that it's not that noticeable.
Interesting. It's kind of the same video, though, over and over.
Yeah.
Which makes me think, is that like the COVID videos, because it's all
that's the government's stance, though. It's a big shift for Japan, because Japan is just a very their whole way of thinking is changing.
Yeah, but is it really happening? Because, like I said, every video is the same one. The same guy getting rolled up with the same cops that looks like.
Well, the election was just yesterday, so it's just started. But yeah, it's a big shift there. And then China, North Korea, all that, things are very different now, because they didn't have to really worry about Japan. They had to worry about America and Japan. And Japan really was like a leash that was on America. And if you're China or North Korea, you're like, the leash is off, and Japan is now starting to arm itself and become militaristic again. So things are changing there.
Do you think Japan will, with this new leader, will still be interested in taking Taiwan, or do you think that takes that off the table?
I think it's a big. I think it's it may change things. It may change things and save Taiwan, because I think we're heading for, pushing towards that, where that was going to happen, just inevitably. But Japan is, and especially like Okinawa, because you got to think so many, because these are small places, like Greenland.
Right.
There was more people at the Super Bowl than there is in the whole country of Greenland.
Yeah, because it's mostly a big ice shelf.
There's hardly anyone there.
Livable.
We look at it as this big, as a country. Number one, it's a big country, but it's not even a big city. Not even a state. It's not even a big city. It's not even a small city.
It's, what is it, 30,000 people or something? Or
Like
300,000?
I think it's 50,000.
50,000? Okay.
So it's not even like a big city. It's not even a small city. It's like a big town. So I forget what my point was, but it's very small, and so Japan, it's a small country. It's not as big, because as Americans, it's hard for us to think in these terms. But terrible things happened in the war. The first atomic bomb. There's still bodies there's still people that go out and they find bones to and then do DNA stuff to tell families, oh, we found your great grandpa, he's here. We found his body, and they can bury him and stuff. So they're still in like a mourning phase from World War II in like Okinawa and a lot of places, and it's very the focus is on like peace and healing, and it's flipped now. They're like, hey, we gotta start arming up and getting tough, because China's looking at us. We have to be able to fight. We have to be able to defend ourselves. And honestly, with one of the things I think Trump has done just worldwide is, you can't depend on America. You can't. We're America. We'll worry about ourselves, but we're not going to defend. When it comes to defense, when it comes to whatever, you have to be able to stand on your own in some way. I think every country in the world kind of knows that now.
Well, wasn't that the big announcement that that Marco Rubio was saying, like that the world is no longer, the US dollar is no longer the world's reserve currency? Wasn't that what Marco's comment was?
He was saying that they were trying to do that, which, I mean, that's the BRICS money. They were trying to do that with BRICS, but which Brazil was involved with. They're the B in BRICS,
right? But they're now on the side of the U.S. Argentina is now on the side with the U.S.
I don't think
there's even sides.
That's the thing. It's the thing. I think we're learning. No one's on the side of that's not their own. Tucker Carlson, he moderated this convention thing, and he had like 3 prime ministers of these African nations, Sierra Leone, Botswana, and one other. And he asked them point blank, hey, who gives you the best deal? Is it the West that you've been dealing with forever, or now that China's coming in, they're wheeling and dealing for you? What, who's giving you the best deal? What's the difference? And this guy there was no language barrier. He would just said, word salad like 3 or 4 times. He goes, maybe this is something that's just too hard to talk about. We can't talk about it. And he was like, China and America are different countries. And he's like, yeah, but what's the difference in dealing with them? Who's giving you a better deal? What's the difference between using, just the West in general?
He pleaded the fifth, basically.
So he was just like,
just refused to answer.
I am the Prime Minister of Sierra Leone.
Thank you for your question.
And there are different presidents in those countries. He was like, okay, let's move on.
And I'm not telling you what deals I made with
America
or China or both.
Who's giving you the best deal? Yeah.
Well, none of that's a surprise, huh? None of that is a surprise. Well, anything else you want to hit on today?
Mamdani was kind of surprising that he would start talking Islam and
Oh, come on. That's not surprising.
all this soon, and how America needs to bow down to Allah. And it's so silly because he said we have to be open and but you can't be any other religion and go to Mecca. You get arrested and kicked out. The trash is piling up all over New York. Bus fares have actually went up. So I mean, this is like weeks. This is a couple weeks after he was, sworn in, and it doesn't look like things are going to be getting better anytime soon. So I thought that was kind of a good wake up call for. I think Mamdani is going to be. I don't understand how it happened in New York. I could see other big cities, but New York is so different. It's,
Didn't the police walk off once Mamdani won? I thought that I had heard that the police, like the New York police, like were taking off their uniforms and throwing them down.
There would be chaos. But I mean, some may have, but it's not like, it's the biggest police force in the world. But I think just the fact that what the main thing he's supposed to do, keep the trains running, get the trash picked up, keep the buses, everything on time. He's not. There's literally like 6 to 10 feet of trash bags, and this is like in the more wealthy neighborhoods even. And then, but his residence, everything's fine, everything's clean, everything's nice.
Sure.
But there's it's surprising to me how bad things are getting there so fast. There's not even like a facade. It's like it's falling apart. And I think people are going to get pretty pissed pretty quick.
So I guess there were threats under Mamdani by police if he won. But I don't know. There's no numbers on how many, or I can't find numbers on how many actually walked off. If they were having concerns about staffing.
Type in trash in New York. Just see what that brings up.
Really?
Yeah, it's insane.
I'm on the wrong thing. Hold on. That's the smell of New York that I know, unfortunately. I've been there a couple times, and that's all you can smell.
19 people died with the cold snap just since he took office.
Oh, now it's to be suspended.
Snow, trash, and dead bodies are piling up in the streets of New York.
Oh. Okay, so it's being suspended because of the weather. That's the deal. And then with that happening, there's people dying.
Essentially, the private chat. Yeah, because so there's this law where you can't force someone off the street. So someone's like mentally ill and is going to die and is out there. I want to be in shorts and no shirt and sleep here on this bench. That okay? Well, you die. They can't. Nobody can do anything about it. But look, that's everywhere. Just trash. It's not like it hasn't snowed in New York ever.
Right. Right.
They should be able to take care of stuff. So I didn't think it was going to fall apart that fast, and you would have that many problems. But the comments are funny. I hear Bangladesh started a GoFundMe for New York.
That's funny.
Wow.
What are you thinking? You looking around at more stuff?
Yeah, look, just for scale. Here, I'll send you another one. This is look at how high.
Okay.
That just the amount of trash that's piled up. Do you think them high rises have a lot of people in them?
I would not. I mean, to me, that is like living. I mean, you're literally on an island. New York is an island.
Yeah.
And you are literally like, it's like, that's one of my fears with being on a boat, one of those big, people are like, oh, take a cruise, take a cruise. I'm like, no, thank you. I've heard of the nightmare things where like the toilets fill up and they're floating around and everybody's, either getting drunk or trying to just find somewhere else to go to the bathroom that's not appropriate. Like nightmare. Yeah, it's taller than him.
Yeah, it's like over 6 feet in most places. Because everyone's like, hey, I'm 6'2", and you could see it's nuts, man.
Yes.
And like you said, it's an island. They're gonna have to get all that off.
Yep.
It's gonna be bad.
That's wild.
But
like the guy said in the comments there, elections have consequences.
Yeah, that's why I think it's going to be a lot of disenfranchised, angry people that thought, everything was going to be great.
Yeah,
I'm going to get free stuff and everything's going to be great, and bam, you have to. Maybe people will start saying you got to get worse before you can get better, but that's. I think people are going to be pretty pissed.
I think so too. Oh, so crazy.
Are we going to?
I'll go
on Thursday.
On Thursday, I will be here on Thursday. Yeah, I shouldn't have any conflicts. I don't anticipate.
Well, check us out on World Blockchain Roundtable on Thursday.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you guys keep looking for the truth out there, and Sean and I will catch you not next Tuesday, but probably next Monday or Wednesday. I don't know, but next week's not good.
Okay.
We'll figure it out together, though.
Mm-hmm.
All right. See you guys. Bye.
Bye.